Good morning, DBS. It is another beautiful morning here in VG, and I am so happy to be sharing that with each of you in your homes or wherever you are taking in today's show from. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Jacka Wooding, and I will be holding your hand throughout this journey with DBS this morning. Right now, we are making sure that you wake up the right way, which is in the know. Here are our morning news highlights. And that is a wrap for our morning news highlights. Thank you so much to our dedicated news team for going out into the field every day and making sure that you have the information that you need to be a part of discussions about what's happening here in St. Lucia. Right now, we are heading into a quick commercial break, but we will be right back with more of the content that you love. So stay tuned. Welcome back, DBS. Now, you could see we're coming to you from the flowers outside, bringing in that bright energy. And I believe that Mandy Preville Finley is bringing in that energy as well. Mandy, I'm loving the colors.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing very well this morning. It has been a fantastic day so far, and looking forward to sharing all about my new book with you.
All right. So, luckily for me, I got the opportunity to read through the book before we started the interview. And I need to say, here's my honest review. Azani has a lot of energy. We might need to get him on Team St. Lucia. We're going to need to find out, any relation to our Queen Julian Alfred maybe. But Azani definitely has it going. So take us into the book. Of course, this is your first children's book. So what was the experience like, and where did you draw your inspiration?
Well, thank you very much for having me, Jacka, first of all. My inspiration was drawn from Azani himself. He is my youngest nephew, from my last sister's son, and I sat one day last year and watched him run around my sister's chair, and he was oblivious to the fact that that's not what people normally do. He was having the time of his life, and his energy and enthusiasm really spoke to me. And I thought, I definitely have to write this, because no one will believe that from the time he wakes up to the time he goes to bed, all he does is run around. That is what he does. It is a typical day, including the end, which I won't spoil for those of you who haven't read the book yet. He loves taking that special time in that special place, which you'll have to buy the book to find out where it is.
We're not giving away the secrets, but it is definitely worth a read. It's so amazing how even in them doing the most innocent things, children can tend to inspire us sometimes. How did Azani feel when he heard that you were writing a book about him?
Azani is absolutely over the moon that there is a book with his name on it. Every copy he sees, he says, "This is my book." It doesn't matter who the book or the copy is for. He is enthusiastic about the fact that he can relate to every single page in the book, and that really was another thing that inspired us. A lot of children today can't see themselves in print, and our whole movement is to ensure that as many children as possible can relate to the characters in the book. All my characters look like people around you, and again, yes, we use actual photos of my sister and Azani in order to ensure that the features and the characteristics were there. We have weaved in a lot about St. Lucia. I always say I carry my country on my chest. Very proudly St. Lucian, and we have weaved in lots of different things about St. Lucia into the story, and we challenge people at the end of it to go find those things, find out a bit about St. Lucia, enjoy the activities at the end, just learn and grow together.
All right. I mean, a lot of time recently we see children get into the YouTubes and the TikToks and spending time on their devices, but I always argue that nothing beats opening a physical book. That new book smell as a kid just always resonated with me. Is that something that you encourage throughout your family and, of course, to anyone interested in the book?
Absolutely. We were having this very debate a couple of days ago about should it be the printed form, as in a physical book? Should it be soft copies online? And I am of the opinion that we can do both. Back in the day when we grew up, it was all about having those copies in your hand, being able to turn the pages. And I love books. I have a lovely collection at home of St. Lucian books from persons around the world from different genres. And I still think that is the way to go, but we have to move with the times. Kindle offers and other platforms offer that opportunity to be able to have that print quickly.
Yeah.
So shipping is a big issue when it comes to the printed text. Paper is heavy, the cost is high. So having an alternative in the interim, I think, is a good way to go. We cannot run away from the fact that we are moving into we are in a digital age. We can't run from that.
Yeah.
So I think it's not an or, I think it's an and. I think we need to include both types of media in order for children to learn and grow. And yes, we encourage them to read. I love being able to open up that package and know there's a book inside, whatever the book may be. And I think we shouldn't restrict. We should go creative. Get children to write their own stories. Take what they've seen, see what things around them, write their own stories, draw their own stories, make their own videos. And I see that as a bonus. I don't see it as a hindrance at all.
Right. And with the release of the book, what has the reaction been like so far? Of course, Azani loved it. So how has the public been receiving it?
I think I can honestly say the public has been enjoying it. The book launch happened at 758 Books in Leclerc on the 30th of July, and we had a wonderful reception. We have had persons calling, texting, dropping DMs, just asking where can they get the book, and you can get it from 758 Books in Leclerc at the Arts Village with Delia Fossois. It has been an opportunity for them to see someone that they recognize, because a lot of people know my sister, they know the family, and they are just amazed that we were able to capture a lot of what is happening. So I want to thank everybody out there for continuing to support us. You can get the book on Amazon, wherever you have Amazon, you can get the book from there, and it will be delivered. And I'm happy while I'm here until the 19th to come and sign copies for whomever wants it signed.
Oh, that's such a nice gesture. I wish you could get some Azani autographs. You need to put out some limited edition signed by the inspiration himself, of course.
Yes,
I'm sure he'd love that.
Absolutely. We have had him sign a copy, and he took great pleasure in doing that. So I think that's a really good idea to get Azani to be able to do that, signing himself.
Okay, given that this has been such a positive experience, can we say that this is just the beginning for your publications in children's writing?
Absolutely. I've got several nieces and nephews, and I made a promise, whether we want to say that it was maybe not the best. Thinking about the amount of work that's gone into this publication to give it the quality that I wanted it to come out as, I've promised each of them a book. So the next book out should be Ken Michael and the Dinosaur. So you've heard it first. And he loves dinosaurs of all kinds, and we are hoping that we can put the dinosaurs in inverted commas. The St. Lucia National Trust has agreed to support me through, and I hope she doesn't mind me saying this, through Janine Compton, to find out a bit more about St. Lucia and what it was like before, and hopefully put some secrets into that book relating to dinosaurs. But we're going to leave it at that until we have further conversation. So hopefully that book will be out by the end of the year. And then further books will be about vehicles and movement and dance for each and every one of my nieces and nephews. I've got one who's into gaming. So there's lots to come. This is very much the beginning.
I mean, that is so beautiful how you could find that inspiration in your family and then immortalize each of the children and their behaviors as children, because one day Azani's gonna slow down, you know, in his teens maybe, and look back and be like, wow, that was about me. So it kind of just immortalizes that stage of their lives. Of course, their parents would probably love to read that at their weddings. Oh gosh, Azani, you don't know what you've set yourself up for. But that's so fantastic. How can people keep in touch with you for more information when you put out your new releases?
All right, thank you. Before I talk about how you can contact me, I just want to say that these books are dedicated to my mom, who passed last year, so I wear her proudly. And in the book, you will find a little something about her. She was one of those persons who encouraged us to do everything that we've ever wanted to do. And that's what we're hoping to give to our nieces and nephews, that idea that you literally can be whatever you want to be. So just wanted to say that. And my dad is still here, and he used to be a lecturer at Arthur Lewis, Jonathan Preville. He's also into books. I remember him as a very young child bringing lots of books home. So when people are now talking about Harry Potter and all of these books, but I read them very young. So, the experiences were there, and we're hoping to give that to the next generation. Right. So persons can get in touch with me through my email address, mandy.preville@gmail.com. You can WhatsApp or text. My local number is 518-5827. I'm on Instagram, on LinkedIn. Just search my name. It's not the usual name, so you will find me. And you can get in touch there. But my publications will be on Amazon and hopefully more in 758 Books here on the island and through other bookstores.
All right. Well, thank you so much for speaking with us today. And we're looking forward to everybody giving us their reviews of Azani Rents.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, and looking forward to what comes next.
Welcome back, DBS. Now, you have been on a journey with us where we have been exploring the beautiful pieces on exhibition at the Grosley Human Resource Center. Right now, we have the pleasure of speaking with an artist himself and a representative for the other artists who are part of this exhibition. Derek, how are you feeling?
Pretty good. I'm elated to know that tonight we have an opportunity to showcase our works and to help to reinstate the cultural atmosphere in St. Lucia. So I appreciate that, and I'm thankful that even for your coverage, you come in here to cover and bring those ideas out there to the public to be aware of what is happening in St. Lucia.
Absolutely, and of course it's our pleasure. I mean, coming in and seeing the art, I always say I don't know how somebody could look at a blank canvas and come up with such beautiful pieces. It's really just a talent. It's a gift that the artists have. I have to ask you, at what point did you discover that gift for yourself?
Oh, at a point where I wasn't even aware of who I am. And that is like at 5 to 6 years old. I was basically a kid at the time when I started my works in art. And when the teachers called upon me to be the one to do the drawings in various subjects like health science and so on, to put those organs on the board so that it can be described for the rest of the students. And that's when I discovered my drawings suited the purposes and was appreciated by the rest of the world, so to speak. That's how it is.
All right, amazing. And of course, St. Lucia has become accustomed to your name. I mean, Grosley, for sure, is accustomed to your name and is getting closer to the work that you have been releasing. You did mention earlier on that your daughter is with you in the process. So take us into that process of getting your work more out there.
Okay, let's start off by me correcting you. Grosley was not aware that I was an artist.
Really?
No, not at all.
Well, if you didn't know, now you know.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, because that's where my daughter came into the picture. I was always more or less an introvert, as I told you earlier, and therefore my works were known by a few persons, very few persons. I actually was always a businessman, so my works was just based on my passion for the arts. So I, in the earlier stages, would do my works for a few select people. from family members who would expose my name and expose the fact that I do art. But when I really indulged in my arts, no one knew. So I never exhibited my work on a public basis. It was always held at my home and so on, in the household. My works were on the walls through my father taking them, seeing them packed on the side and saying, but Derek, you need to share these works with the world, you know? And I'm like, but Dad, they're not finished yet. And he goes, this is not finished? And I'm like, no, it's not finished. And that's one of the aspects of an artist.
Yeah.
Your work is always seemingly incomplete, you know? So you have this tendency to hide them and feeling like people will criticize
Like
them.
people want to really appreciate what you are doing.
Voila, you know? So you always felt this kind of subject to being judgmental of your works. So you always, you know, well, I always held back on exposure. I'm talking about my art pieces. So then today represents one of my first real showings to the public. Although I have sold works, as you can see by the nature of what exists, but these were to personal clients. A lot of my schoolmates and so on are not even aware that I did art on this scale. I was at the St. Mary's College, and this was where my most formal education in art came about. Luigi Santome was the one who taught art at the time, and this is where I had some real introduction to having to do works in public. Yeah, I had to do it in public, and then, you know, it was forced upon me, and therefore I had no choice. So other than that, my daughter is the next stage where she came in and said, Dad, your work is extreme. It's extremely beautiful, you know? And she said, we need to get these works out there to the public. And therefore, she represents what we call new levels artists. So she has a business. She is in Texas, and she has her own online. She's on Instagram, she's on Twitter, she's on all social media. Yeah, and she told me that I want you to do this. And I'm here today exhibiting my work as a result of her.
Well, I'm sure she is very proud of you for taking that leap of faith. And I mean, like you said, you're an introvert, so I'm very proud of you right now that we're having this interview. And it's going so well. Of course, we've been seeing people's reactions. So despite your fear of being judged, the judging has been positive. Everybody is loving the pieces. I can say I personally have been so impressed with everything that I've been seeing. So we do not want this to be the last exhibition. We want to see more from you, and I'll make it my duty to touch base with you to find out when you will be doing something else again. So can you promise us another interview when you have your next exhibition?
Well, yes, for a fact. As a result of the mayor, Egbert Lucien, he was one of those who encouraged me for the exhibition. I'm hoping that with time, knowing now of the slated timing for exhibition of emancipation as well as the indigenous women and peoples, I would engage now in preparing for the next year, whereby I will have enough time to prepare and put some serious works out. So hopefully around the same time next year, it should be on a different scale, because I would have had enough time to do specialized work for this occasion. And I look forward to that.
All right, thank you so much for speaking with us, and we are certainly looking forward to it.
Thank you very much. The thanks goes from me to you for giving me media coverage. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this morning's Soca Size session. Leading the wine, we have Suzanne from Studio Fit and Healthy 911 and myself, Shani, from Soca Size St. Lucia. Let's get ready to flaunt with Soca Size. This morning's workout is a wine and tone routine to Happiness by Ding Dong. Let's get moving. begin. Tap, tap, step back side. 4, 3, 2. Tap, tap, back. Tap, tap, back. Tap, tap, back. One more. We're gonna add the arms with that. Let's go. Hey. 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 One more. Stretch those hands to the ceiling. Let's go. Brush the shoulder. Hey. 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 Push. Side. Next side. Happiness. Up. Brush it. Hey. Push. Next side. Third. Hey. 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 Leg on the bird. Hey. Next side. Step it out. Hey. 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 4, 3, 2. Happiness. Let's go. Let's go. Hey. Push. Happiness. Whoa. Push. We're gonna tap. Let's go. Hey. 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 Let's start the arms. Hey. Happiness. Happiness. Let's go. Whoa. Push. Again. Whoa. Push. Happy, happy.
Happiness.
Push.
Mona fear friend, mona bad mind. We don't want no friendship from them. Sing again now. Happiness.
Whoa.
We don't need no with stress.
Push, push.
Dance me a dance and I enjoy myself. If you want to start off for your business.
That was this morning's session. We hope you are feeling sexy, sultry, and strong. Do remember to flaunt today.
And we have made it to the end of the show. It's bittersweet because, yes, that end comes with the beginning of your day, whether you have to face traffic or head straight onto a meeting. I'm wishing you all the best. Before I can send you into that, though, I need to share with you today's thought for the day, a suggestion from a member of the team. And he said, follow your dreams. You need to chase your dreams sometimes. But I think it's important to note that if that dream keeps running, it may not be for you. God has a funny way of showing us, hey, I need to push you in the right direction, but you need to stop focusing on this other thing first. And what's waiting behind an unopened door may be something that really just breaks the bounds of whatever you were dreaming of initially. So don't be afraid of change and don't be afraid to put in the work for whatever it is you want to achieve. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.